All right. Shalom. Call all y'all about Shah. Shalom to the left. Now, them banning books and certain words and all this stuff on the internet, I'm sure you Akim y'all videos and getting strikes or taken down or whatever just for using certain terms. That's why instead of saying the you know what, we use the charagma, the badge of servitude, and these other different words. If you know, you know though. And this ultimately is leading to them banning, bringing out these scriptures, man. That's what they really want to do. That's why when you make certain videos, the video can be about something completely different. Esau find a way to take it down, to strike it, and label it medical misinformation, like the lady mentioned in the video. Use certain terms, and they deem that speaking out against the who. And who control the who? Esau red ass. So let me get a few precepts. It's in the book of Luke, and that's why it's good to remember all this stuff too, because Most High put the spirit on you to remember. So even if they do take books away of certain stuff, it's in your spirit anyway, man. And Esau can't do shit. It's the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 12. It says, "But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake." And that's another thing they don't want people to know, because if you dig and do your homework enough, or if you do basic fundamental reading or basic English, when you was in elementary school, they taught you root words, prefix, suffix, different definitions, the adjective, the subject, all that different stuff. They taught you these things. So when you read these scriptures, you have to apply the same thing to these scriptures. You can't just take one chapter and just read it as that. You got to see what these words mean. You got to see the region where it was talking about. You got to see the time frame it was pertaining to, whether if it was speaking in present time or was it speaking in future time for events to come. This right here is speaking in future events to come, right? Even as you read up. We read up to verse 10, I'm going to come back down. Shalaki. Now I said in verse 10, "Then said he unto them, nation shall rise up against nation." But let me go up some more. It's verse 9. It says, "But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and a great earthquake shall be in diverse places." A big earthquake just hit over there across seas, and it was talking about a tsunami warning and all that. All this stuff been happening back to back, man. Nation against nation. What you see going on across seas, nation against nation. Yemen just declared war against Israel. Iran said if certain stuff happened, they stepping in, man. And you know who backing them? Russia backing them. And I'll make a follow-up video on that. I don't want to get too far off topic. I want to speak on them banning the books. It says, "And pestilences, fearful sights, and great signs shall they be from heaven." This is why they want to ban these books, because they know all this information in them, and then they know certain men are actually waking up and reading these books and going full detail into them. Verse 12 it says, "But before all these, they should lay their hands on you, persecute you, deliver you up to synagogues and to prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake." And once again, you look into the root words of what the deliverer means, what the Most High was saying his name was, and you go into all that. When you read these things, you figure out what's what. The spirit of God, you figure out what's what. You have other teachers, elders that can help guide you and show you what's what. All from reading, like the scripture says, "Blessed is he that readeth." That's in the book of Revelation. And Esau know this. So what they want to do, just like they did back in slavery, ban books. People always try to say, "Oh, wow, that's the white man book." No, the fuck it's not. If it was, they would have never allowed us to even get access to it how we got access to it now. That would have never happened. They would have never taught us different languages. They would have never taught us how to read it and understand it. Also, they would have took out certain books as in, because you read these scriptures, it goes into who is the wicked, which I'm going to get at. Now it says, verse 13, "And shall turn to you for a testimony, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what you should answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries should not be able to gainsay nor resist. And you shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. When you bring up that name Yahweh Shai, it make people cringe. Bring up the name Yahweh Shai. You say Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that make people cringe. Unless they're in the spirit. And they rejoice because they be happy because they didn't know the name. And then they end up knowing the name. Now they're in a good mind frame. Verse 18 it says, but there should not a hair of your head perish, and your patience possess ye your souls. Now let's see. Go to this real quick. Book of Revelation chapter 1 verse 3. It says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. That's why you see all this stuff happening right now. And you, of course, you have people scoff and say, oh, people been saying this was going to happen and all these events was going to take place. It's taking place right now. You see the nations gearing up right now. They sending more troops over there right now. They sending more money and ammunition over there right now. You see plagues and pestilences going on right now. You see nation against nation right now. You see earthquakes on a higher level. You even got volcanoes erupting right now. That's going on right now, man. That's why they don't want us to read this stuff. When you read this, you can compare and contrast to the news, to historical texts, to different stuff, and see what's going on. And also, who the wicked is. Now, I'm going to get ready to end this off because I want to speak on them about banning the books. So, we Arkham, if we privy of you, to have certain books, whether it be books with definitions, certain historical accounts that line up with the scriptures, so on and so on. Maybe books on medicinal stuff, different herbs, medicines, whatever. The plants, so you know what plants to deal with. Like if you end up being out in nature or something like that, you know what's poisonous, you know what's not, you know what's good for you, you know what's not good for you. Let me see. All right, I wasn't going to get this one. This just popped out to me. This book of Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 4 says, therefore the law is slack, and judgment doeth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. When you look at what's going on in the world right now, who do that? People always complaining and crying about the judicial system, how judgment don't be right. Who control the judicial? Salakia, who controls the judicial system? Let's see, it's another precept I want to get. This is why they don't want us to read this. It's the book of Joel chapter 3, I'm just reading on down there. And it says the nations will be judged. Why? And verse 1, it tells you why. And it's going to tell you who's who. Now the names have been changed, that's why it's good to know these different names and read. Like the scriptures say, blessed is he that readeth. Verse 1 it says, for behold in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Who did that? Who's part of the land? Who scattered people amongst the nations? It's only a certain select people did that primarily, and they had help with the other nations. That's why they got to get judged too. That's why the scriptures say the nations will be judged. Now, verse 3 it says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink." Who did this? You have to ask these questions when you read this. Like, hey, who did that? Oh, let me check the history. Who was giving girls for wine? They even put it in movies. I watch a lot of movies and stuff get banned too. It ain't just the books. You saw I don't want you to watch certain movies too. Or they try to hide and make it hard to find that shit. Now, let me read on some more. I'm going to jump down to verse 5. It says, "Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you may remove them from far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them." That's what's going to take place. This hasn't happened yet. It says, "And I will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to the people far off, for the Lord has spoken it." And the Most High spoke it, it's going down, man. Like the scriptures say, "Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." And everything be in order in heaven. Ain't no Satan fighting the Most High, none of that. The Most High got complete control, and he control both sides, the good and the evil. So what you see taking place, it's all part of prophecy, man. You can't make this up. If you're blind to it, the Most High just blinded you, and it is what it is. So I just want to bring this out. Out of one right side is edifying.